Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Tarot Wisdom messages for the month of April 2026. Lots happening this month. First thing, of course, we do have Easter. If you celebrate Easter, it's usually a fun holiday, whatever. It's time off work. And there are other celebrations as well. But the first one I want to mention before I forget, because it would be awful if I forgot this. On the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of April, the Easter weekend, this book, my latest book, Lessons in Awakening, will be free to download in Kindle from Amazon. So that's my Easter gift to you all. So mark your calendars. I won't be doing another video about it, but on social media, I will put out another post to remind people. So if you're not following me on any other social media, mark your calendar now. So, Lessons in Awakening, a simple guide to quantum manifestation, self-mastery, and creating world peace at this time of the Great Awakening. Free in Kindle, on Amazon, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th of April. All the links are in the description. Whichever Amazon site is your local one, if you can have a local Amazon site. Okay, brilliant. So happy Easter. I want to say that as well. Happy holidays. Now, there is so much going on astrologically. So I'm not going to go through it all because, as you know, I'm not an astrologer. But it is kind of emphasizing quick decisions and bold actions. So we'll see if the cards mirror that as well. So yes, lots going on. I know there's lots of planets in Aries, which is unusual. And if you are, we're in Aries season now, and I did do a video. I'll put a link in the description to that as well, on my conversation. Can I call it that? With the Emperor, who in tarot represents Aries. And he was giving us some messages about Aries season. So and we're in it now. So check out that video as well. And of course, towards the end of this month of April, we'll be coming into Taurus. So let's see what messages we have. We're starting the month with a full moon on the 1st or the 2nd. Oh, they're falling out now. I don't want too many. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. Do we want any more? We'll just ask the cards if we want any more. I've got them face down at the moment. They kind of jumped out. Nope, that was quite clear. So we've got 4 cards face down. Let's dive in. Can we have some messages and some guidance, please, for April 2026? I love it when we start not only with a major arcana, but we are starting with the Fool. Now, I'm really understanding now why the Fool is 0, because the Fool, of course, is the hero in the hero's journey. The Fool represents us all. And the other major arcanas are the spiritual lessons and the spiritual twists and turns, while he accumulates his wisdom and his self-mastery and his inner peace. Maybe he needs to read the book, huh? But he's doing a grand job and he's taking that leap of faith. So he's famous for that leap of faith. It's a spiritual quest. This is when you realize that there is more to life than the one that you're living, but you're not quite sure what, but you realize that it is in understanding your multidimensional being and your multidimensional nature. So he's going off to explore on this spiritual journey. And it does involve taking leaps of faith. We know that. What I love about the Fall, so many things I love about the Fall. The rays of the sun show spiritual guidance because you start following your intuition. And because this is coming up now, and because I'm sure you're already following your intuition. This is just a sign that we're taking that to the next level. Everything is now, if we don't feel it, if it doesn't feel right, we're not doing it. And we don't need to explain it. This is the thing, isn't it? Because in the past, we might have felt off about something or felt really excited about something, but because we couldn't justify it in our limited human thinking, we kind of didn't go for it. Maybe we didn't take the leap. But now we realize that we don't need to understand why or how or what. We don't need to answer all these questions. We need to just feel the excitement and do it, or the hesitant feeling of like, maybe that's not quite right for me. So it's about following the heart all the way. We do not need to justify it. We do not need to explain it. So that's what he's doing. He's not taking much with him because we realize that on this journey, it's all about the inner journey going within. It's not about gathering external wealth. Although obviously that can be part of the path. He's got his loyal friend with him, the little dog. And what I like, of course, is that he's got this rose in his palm. And I feel like it's growing from his palm. And for me, this is a really important point with the fool. He's not a fool, of course. He's very carefree. He's naive, a little bit naive. We say fool because he doesn't know what's coming and he's still going for it. But the rose represents wherever he goes, his energy will go. And he understands the seven Hermetic principles. Well, he's beginning to anyway, because he understands that everything outside of him is a vibrational match to him, and that everything outside of him is a holographic projection of his frequency. So wherever he goes, his frequency goes. So he doesn't need a lot of materialistic stuff or money or whatever. He just needs to have his own natural abilities, his innate divine gifts. That's where we're going to find our abundance, is using what we're good at, what we enjoy doing, and what we came here to do. Why does it make us so excited? Because it's part of our soul's blueprint. It's part of our soul's plan. That's the way they did it. It's that basically whatever you're meant to do in this life, they created it so that it makes you excited to do it. The idea is that you'll go and do it and not stop yourself. And by doing it, that's where your abundance lies. So it's you that's creating your abundance, not your capital or your bank account or your investments, because, with things going on in the financial system or the collapse of the financial system, I think the only investment that's really, really secure is your investment in yourself. And that's what he's doing. I'm loving it. Yes, triumph and success. Wow. He's already found triumph and success on this journey. Horses are positive movement forward. Wands are physical action in the physical world. I'm getting quite excited. And wands are fire. So they're passionate, they're bold, they're out there taking action, divine action. So he's doing whatever he feels called to do. And he doesn't need to justify it, because that's where his victory is going to lie. That's where his success lies, in following this expansive feeling. And it's transformational. Fire is transformational. I'm not surprised that it's coming up like this fire, because, of course, Aries is a fire sign. And so there is a lot of fire and push behind us now. And it's taking us in the right direction, because this great awakening is really helping us tap in to this intuition. This is what we started off saying, wasn't it? Following that intuition that's gone to another level. It's taking us to another level of human experience, I want to say. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Because now we've got the Hierophant. And I nearly said, when I said, oh, he knows the seven Hermetic principles, and then I thought to myself, he may not know them really well because he's at the beginning of his journey, okay? And for me, the seven Hermetic principles are taught, because this is the teacher, the Hierophant is the teacher, he's the mentor. So, and the keys here show the secrets to unlock the secrets of the universe. And of course, the secrets of the universe, as Nikola Tesla says to us, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so, and the Hierophant thinks in terms of spiritual teachings, which are the seven Hermetic principles, which I have a whole chapter in this book dedicated to the seven Hermetic principles. I've simplified them and applied them to everyday life, okay, to make them accessible and that you can really understand something from them. Now, so what's interesting was I nearly thought, oh, when I said that, I was thinking, oh, the Hierophant, he's the teacher of the seven Hermetic principles, and the fool may not have met him yet, but now he has, which is perfect. And not only that, oh my goodness me, I am getting excited because not only that, but the Hierophant is Taurus. And we know that on the, I don't know, 19th, 20th, 21st, I never know exactly when it is, where the sun will be moving into Taurus. And that's April. We're talking about April 2026. And this is the card for Taurus. So yeah, amazing that the Hierophant turned up like that. And he did jump out the deck, didn't he? He is reminding you to study spiritual concepts. And I know a lot of people think, oh, it's woo-woo, but that's exactly what this book is doing. It's quantum science meets spirituality. When you study spirituality and you study science to a quantum level, they actually become two of the same thing. So this big divide that we think exists between science and spirituality, it really doesn't. It does depend on your perception, though, your perception of things. I don't know whether maybe the gap is between science and religion. I don't know if there's a gap going on there, but I'm talking from a spiritual perspective. Which to me is the same thing. To me, it's the same thing because to me, someone asked me the other day actually what spirituality meant to me. And I thought, well, that's quite interesting because I actually don't use the word that much, even though I have stuck it on the, the back cover of the book. But my answer was understanding your multidimensional nature. To me, that's what spirituality is. Spirit, it's not physical. We can't see it. And there's aspects of us, our multidimensional nature, that we can't see. We can see the physical. We can't see the emotions. We can't see the thoughts, can we? The beliefs. We can't see them. We might see the effect of them. We feel them. We know that we have them. We know that they're part of our energy field, but we can't actually see them. And of course, there are many other dimensions. We're multidimensional beings. But we just want to focus really the self-mastery that helps us create that peace within. That's really about working with the third and the fourth dimension, which is the emotional energy body and the mental energy body, so that you can access the fifth dimensional levels of consciousness, which is Christ levels of consciousness. So Jesus Christ that's not his surname, that was his level of consciousness. So we only need to go that far. It's not actually that far if you think about it, if our physical world and our physical bodies are third dimensional. So we just need to work with the emotions and the beliefs. That's really what it's about. But also understanding the laws of the universe. Now, this is something that I found so logical, was that if you want to change your life in any way, in any aspect of it, then surely we need to understand how we create our reality, how life is created. We might start off with how is life created? And then what's our role in that? And then when you realize that you are the creator of your reality, I can put a link into that video as well. When you realize that you are the creator of your own reality, surely the next step is understanding how you create your reality, because then you can look back and see all the suffering and all the negative inverted commas things. They're obviously lessons, they're obviously a soul plan, but in the beginning we don't see them that way, do we? But how did we create that? Why did we create it and how did we create it? Because when you understand how you create it, that's what helps you shift the way you think and the way you feel so that you can create what you choose. It's conscious creation, being a conscious creator. And understanding all of that is seven Hermetic principles, and the Hierophant can help us with that. And what have we got for the last card this month? The Two of Pentacles. He's coming up quite a lot lately. Now, I like him because he's juggling, right? And let's not forget that we are the hero in the hero's journey. We are the fool in the spiritual quest. But the Two of Pentacles, he has an energy of multitasking. But when we say multitasking, we very often think that we're too busy. Maybe you're working full time, looking after a family, coming home and cooking for whoever. This multitasking, looking after an elderly relative. I mean, we think of that kind of pressure. I'm not thinking that about that. It's he might be multitasking, but what I want to say, what he's saying to me today about April, what he's saying is that we're multitasking as in doing a lot of different things, doing a lot of different things. Our income, right, is coming from different sources. We're not just going to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. That's not, and we've got one source of income. So we've got to keep that boss pretty happy, right? If we've got a mortgage and everything else. No, when we're working for ourselves, using our own energy to create, like the flower in his hand, then we're going to be doing different things in different ways. So we might be writing books, and then we might be doing videos, and then we might be offering healings and readings. And then we might be doing all sorts of other things to raise our frequency. We might be looking after animals. We might be doing all sorts of things. Some of the activities might bring us in money. Some of them might not. Some of them might cost us money. But he understands that because he understands that keeping his frequency high is the most important thing that he can do. Now, whether that, if he can keep his frequency high and get paid for whatever it is that he does, perfect. That's the way it's going, right? But we're not focusing on that. He's going to do what he loves anyway. And if he has to pay to do whatever it is that raises his frequency, that's not a problem because he understands that the rise in frequency is more of an investment in who he is and his reality, the reality that he's creating, than the money that he's lost. It doesn't matter. It's an investment in him. It's an investment in himself. So it's an investment in his frequency. So what I'm seeing here with this card is we need to invest in our frequency. We need to do what makes us feel good. I mean, it's a pentacle is earth. It's secure, and it's typically money, but it's also our resources. And our resources are our energy. And it's also practical, and it's practical to do what you love, obviously. But he's juggling. What can I spend my time on? What can I spend my energy on? And what can I spend my money on? I mean, he's asking himself these questions. And so he's kind of juggling it. Can I spend my money on this? Yeah, I'm going to spend my money on what makes me feel really good, even if that little voice, that programmed subconscious belief says, no, no, you can't spend that much on something like that. You've got to go and work and all of this. Usual limiting beliefs, of course, but also doing more time-wise. This is why a lot of people are cutting back time-wise, so that they can spend more time doing what they love, whether they get paid for it or not. So really, whether you get paid for it, if you need to make money, then you do what you love. There will be a way. There will be a way. Okay. All four cards are telling me that if there's something you love doing, do it because you love it. Keep going, share it with others, do it to make you feel good, and then share it with others to make them feel good, whatever it may be. And the universe will make sure that you are supported. And I've said this before, I'll say it again, but if anyone had told me 15, 20 years ago that I would be supported, I would be supporting myself through reading tarot, I would never have believed it. It's not something that we were brought, well, in my generation, it's not something we were brought up to believe. So please trust me, get rid of those limiting beliefs. If it floats your boat, if it makes you feel good, it's because your soul came here to do it. And when you do what your soul came here to do, then your abundance is there in all its glory, whether it be financial, whether it be your materialistic needs. We do still have materialistic needs, of course. We need a roof over our head. We need to go from A to B, some kind of transport, So we do have needs, don't we? But your needs will all be met if you can trust. But it is about taking that leap of faith, isn't it? It's about taking that leap of faith, realizing that that's where your success, everything will fall into place. Study some of the spiritual concepts, definitely. I think he's saying read this book, and you don't have to pay for it because, as I said at the beginning, on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of April, my Easter gift to you, the Kindle version will be free to download from Amazon, links in the description. So, yeah, make sure you spend your time, money, energy wisely, your resources, spend them wisely. Where can you save time or use your time more wisely on something that you really enjoy? And also what are you investing in? What are you investing in? You're investing in whatever you put your attention on. That's what you're investing in. That's why we talk about paying attention. We pay attention to things because it's like an investment. So focus on the things that make you feel good. That's exactly what he's doing. And you are the hero in your own journey. No one else is coming to save you. Your level of consciousness is your new currency, and your level of consciousness is your salvation. Sounds harsh, but he's not worried. He's carefree because he understands how it all works. He does now, anyway. Sending you lots of love. Have a fantastic April. And please comment, like, share, and all those YouTubey things. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.